Hey everybody, I want to introduce you to something new and exciting that we are going to start doing after tests starting July 1st. It's called the Elementary Prize Program. Have you ever been to Chuck E. Cheese where you play a bunch of games and if you do well, you get tickets? And then you can take those tickets and buy things like candy or toys, and you can get cool special stuff. We are going to create a program that's a little bit similar to that. So, this is how it works. Instead of playing games, during every lesson and every day, there are 9 different lessons every day. So one lesson would be reading, one would be science, one would be math, one would be, and so forth. So during every lesson, you can earn like 3 points. But here's how you earn those points. Speak in English. If you speak in English during those classes, you will earn your points. But if you don't speak in English, you're gonna get 0 points. So, let's try our hardest to speak as much English as possible. Raise your hand to speak. If you don't do that, you're gonna get 1 less point during that lesson. So instead of getting 3 points, you'll only get 2 points. Sit properly. All of you know how to sit properly, and you can help each other remember how to do that. But if your teacher has to remind you to sit properly, you're gonna get 1 less point during that lesson. Be kind and respectful. So if you are kind to your classmates and kind to your teacher and respectful and be polite, you are going to get your points. But remember, if you speak in Spanish, you're not going to get any points during that lesson. And if you do any one of these other things, like not sitting properly or not raising your hand, your teacher is simply going to say -1. And then you're going to get 1 less point during that lesson. So, if you do these things at the end of every single day, you can get 27 points. 135 points in the week. So if you speak English all week long, and if you sit properly and raise your hand, and you are kind and friendly and respectful, you are gonna get 135 points a week. But you might say, Mr. Carlson, what can I do with that 135 points? Good question. If a teacher sees you doing extraordinary things, they can give you extra points. What are some of those extraordinary things? Being helpful to either your classmates or your teacher, and they can say +1. And you, instead of getting just 3 points for that lesson, you'll get 4. Answering many questions. If you're raising your hand all the time and you're participating all the time, you are gonna get an extra point if your teacher gives it to you. Doing something kind for someone else. If your teacher sees you doing something kind, they can give you an extra point. And here's the most important one. Exceed expectations. If you go the extra mile and you do more than what is expected, they will see that and they can give you an extra point or 2 or 3 points, however many they want, in order to reward the good thing that you're doing. You can use these points on Friday and you can purchase special things. Here's the list of things that you can purchase. A piece of candy is 100 points. You can have a jeans day, and that's 175 points. So you can come to school on Friday if you pay 175 points out of how many points you have. Pajama day, 250. Extra credit opportunity, 350. You can bring a stuffed animal to school, 450. Show and tell, which means you bring something special from your home that's safe in order to talk to your classmates and show them a cool toy or a cool thing that you made and talk to everybody about it on a Friday. Homework cut in half, 675 points. No homework pass, which means you don't have to do homework. that costs 700 points. You can be a teacher assistant for one lesson, that's 800 points. And then a positive note or a phone call home to your parents for 900 points. And the most expensive would be lunch and a game with me, Mr. Carlson. This is all going to begin July 1st. And if you have any questions, please ask your teacher. They will help you understand. So, let's recap. During every day, if you simply raise your hand and speak in English and sit properly in your chair and you are kind and respectful to other people, you're gonna get 27 points every day. And if you add that up times 5, you're gonna get 135 points. And you can save up those points in order to purchase those special things right here on this list. And then if you have 800 points, but you buy a piece of candy, at the end you will have 700 points, and so forth. So I'm excited to hear how this goes. I'm excited to hear you speak English. I'm excited to have lunch and play a game with some of you during lunch. So if you have any questions, please ask your teacher, and you can also ask me.